I think the first thing I noticed was Mike's inability to manage finances, and suddenly he couldn't do bank deposits. And we found one of his paychecks in my cookery book, which is highly unusual.
It didn't necessarily start off with memory loss, but I did notice a change in his behavior. His moods became more irritable, and he did sort of fall into a slight depression.
Just general confusion, asking directions to his place of work that he had driven many, many times before.
One specific occasion, he actually forgot the name of his secretary of 20 years.
I tried to get going, but it's like I couldn't. It was like I was in the mud. I couldn't get out of the mud.
His actual words, that his brain was slipping away from him.
Is it that's making me do this forgetfulness thing? I never forget anything.
It's that degree of change, and when the change is functionally impactful, that most of the time I find the positive answer of this, for this individual, that feeling of change is significant and often is their warning sign.
10 warning signs of Alzheimer's. Memory loss that disrupts daily life. Challenges in planning or solving problems. Difficulty completing familiar tasks. Confusion with time or place. Trouble understanding visual images and spatial relationships. New problems with words in speaking or writing. Misplacing things and losing the ability to retrace steps. Decreased or poor judgment. Withdrawal from social activities. Changes in mood or personality.
And I do tell people to look at those 10 warning signs, but I often will tell them you don't have to have all of them. The order doesn't matter, because there are some individuals for whom the emotional symptoms come first. And so I think that's lower on the list. But for some individuals, that's their number one presentation. When I have someone tell me, my mother has been a mother of 3, full-time employed, never depressed a day in her life, and now she's, fill in the blank with every depressive, symptom that there is. Less active, not enjoying the grandkids, won't initiate anything, seems down. When they start telling me there's this drastic change, as we get older, there really aren't supposed to be these drastic changes in us. And in geriatrics, you learn about how the body and the brain, the entire body, changes as we get older. And for some organs, there's dramatic change. Well, interestingly, the brain has more subtle change. And the almost universal change is that it slows down its processing and function. But it shouldn't actually lose function. And so the change we're looking for, that is the harbinger of the diseases of Alzheimer's and other dementias, is that loss of function. Because that right there is where disease, you've crossed the threshold from an aging-related change to a disease-specific loss and ability that is then going to show up in a memory lapse. But more specifically, when there is disease, it's going to show up in the form of function.